Final round.
Power.
Nice shot.
KO.
Welcome to Gaymer Girls.
So Reddit hot takes are out, Tumblr hot takes are in. Okay?
I agree.
Yes. I don't care what people on Reddit have to say. I care so deeply about all of the discourse on Tumblr. And you know what they're talking about? They're talking a lot about Dropout TV.
Are they? I am so out of the loop on this, so you're going to have to tell me what's going on.
Okay, so people are up in arms, as they usually are on Tumblr. They tend to take like really drastic levels of interest into niche internet communities.
Okay.
Which Dropout TV, though growing, is still more of a niche.
For sure.
Yeah, so people are pissed off because Dropout is not featuring enough trans women or people who experience trans misogyny. And
Okay.
so recently there's the new season that's come out of Dimension 20, which is the Dungeons and Dragons actual play show that they cut and edit together. And it's brought up a lot of controversy over the fact that the primary trans female representation are the drag queens who are playing on Dungeons and Drag Queens season 2. But people are pissed because they're saying that the only real representation of trans women are people who have to perform femininity, and that's the only representation of this gender subsect. But and people in Tumblr are getting up in arms. So someone created a spreadsheet, and Tumblr's all about kind of anonymity, so I'm not going to bring in names or usernames here.
Sure.
Someone created a spreadsheet where they documented every single instance of every single person who's ever been on Dropout, and the amount of times and their gender identity, which is a little problematic because we don't know what everybody's gender identity is in general. We have some very out people. We have like Allie Beardsley, who transitioned very publicly and is a non-binary individual. And then we also have Alex Songsha, who is another non-binary individual. We have more non-binary representation on Dropout TV than I think across the board on any singular show or network. There has been
or
more
streaming platform,
absolutely. There is so much representation on gender diversity in this show, including in shows like Very Important People with Vic. They have a lot of just very fun characters. And on the season of Dimension 20 that I'm watching right now called Starstruck, it's set in space. It's a space opera in the future, and they're using a lot of they them pronouns because, you know, people in space in the future, no alien race is really going to subscribe to the human gender system. Right? So I think Dropout and Dimension 20 would listen to some very thoughtfully written letters or inquests onto whether we can include more trans women representation, which I think is merited. I think the trans women who on Tumblr who are upset about this and who want to see more of themselves on their favorite streaming platform should be able to, because this is a platform that does cater to a lot of very niche identities. However, we also have to understand that, and what people are totally taking out of context, is that Dropout started really as a group of friends. These are people and coworkers from College Humor, and these are a group of friends who are coming together to create comedic content. And you don't necessarily pick all your friends based off of their gender identities.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That's what's been going on Tumblr.
I think it's incredible that they are platforming so many diverse voices, which I think is the more important aspect of this to even focus on to begin with, because we don't have a lot of that in mainstream media. And so to have a platform championing that, as well as championing many other fantastic movements such as revenue and profit sharing, which is incredible. And I don't think there's really any other network that does that.
No.
When it comes to the queer community, and we're both a part of the queer community, and so we've both felt this in one way or another to a certain degree, but it's very important to see yourself being represented. And it is understandable to want to see yourself be represented in the works that you love and the people that you love and on the platforms that you love. But there are so many different experiences out there. It's not going to be genuine if it's checking off boxes rather than actually, you know, bringing in people who fit that talent that you're looking for like a very comedy centralized platform. So I understand why people are angry, and cut this out if this is not true.
Yeah.
But Persephone Valentine is a
Yes,
trans
so
woman.
there's just minimal trans
Yeah.
women in comparison to the rest of the gender diversity
Yeah.
that is represented on the platform.
Yeah, and she's wonderful. I can understand that people want more, but I believe that it might just, take the representation that is there and let them grow, because there is no doubt that they are continuing to grow and bring in more queer voices, more diverse voices with every single season. We see more and more new cast members added. So no doubt in the future there will be that, but I don't think attacking them for it is quite the right direction to go.
Dropout TV has gotten a lot of ardent hate from people who love their shows and love their network. I mean, they were talking about getting death threats, and when it comes to just in general how vocal a lot of the members of Dropout's actual community are about mutual aid and for protesting. They've received a lot of external hate, but a lot of internal hate as well. So a lot of these people on Tumblr, they are actively creating malicious conversation in which they're trying to contextualize their criticisms of there not being enough representation, tearing people down in order to try and get what they want, which Dropout has proven that they are willing to apologize and willing to grow and willing to change. There have been instances of people saying things that they definitely shouldn't have been, and
then they immediately apologized and said, we understand that this wasn't the correct comment to make. We have immediately removed that from whatever episode that was from, or whatever show that was from. We've removed it.
And they financially help the institutions and the people where they definitely put their money where their mouth is.
Absolutely.
And that is one thing that I really commend Dropout TV for doing.
Yeah. I think if you're going to criticize platforms that take these actions, but then systematically show that they do not grow from it, I understand criticizing those platforms, but Dropout is not one of them.
No.
And so while healthy criticism in any space and in media is very important, I think it's always good to maybe, before you post whatever it is you're posting, take a step back, think about it, give it a day, do some research, and then figure out maybe this should be recontextualized a little bit better before I hit send.
Not a lot of people on Tumblr ever think before they hit post.
Yeah, no, I'm a firm believer of write something, put it in your draft, wait 24 hours, look at it again, and then be like, maybe I should take some of this out, and then,
Yeah, and I think what I find particularly frustrating is that members of the Dropout TV community are on Tumblr. Abria Iyengar, noted DM, is very much a presence on Tumblr. And I'm sure others too. I'll be damned if Erika Ishii does not have a secret Tumblr of some kind.
For sure.
But these people are real people and real creators who are trying their best and who are the most progressive content creators in terms of major streaming platforms that we have gotten to date. And so I think we need to, while yes, understanding that there is room for growth and bringing that up in case they are unaware of that, there needs to be a level of separation of content creator and content consumer. Absolutely. And an understanding of those roles and an understanding of how much good Dropout TV is already doing for our current media landscape. Yeah. Woo! I'm calling that one done in the books.